welcome back to my channel, Louise's TBR Shelf. Today I've decided to do the 2020 mid-year book freakout tag. I've seen a lot of booktubers do this tag, and I've seen the videos, and I think it's just so much fun to reflect back on your goals for the first half of the year and see how you're accomplishing them, and seeing what books you read and plan to read before you even made like your list of books for the year. So I'm really excited to see how my goals are doing and if I'm going to accomplish them by the end of the year. Now that my summer grad class is over, I have way more time to read and more time to do these videos, and I really love doing these videos for you guys, and I love interacting with the viewers, and I appreciate everyone that's subscribed and commented and viewed my videos. It really means a lot, so thank you so much for that. And so let's get into the tag. Number 1 is the best book you read in 2020. I would say that's Finale by Stephanie Garber. I started her Caravel series a few years ago when the first one came out, and I thought it was amazing. I love Scarlett and Tella, the two main characters, and their sisters. And Scarlett kind of goes to this place where it's called Caravel, and it's like this game, and it's run by this character named Legend, and he's mysterious, and you don't really know who he is or what he does and how he has his magic. And we all learn about like all the different characters, and we learn if things are real or not, because the characters don't know, and us as the readers don't know what's real or not. The only person who really knows is the author. So it's really cool to see how it all unfolds. And in the sequel, it's way more about Tella, but the third one really, brings everything together and brings the sisters back together and completes the series in a great way. And I'm so excited to see what Stephanie has next, because I really loved her first series, and I cannot wait to see how she grows as an author. Second one is best sequel you read so far in 2020. I would say Kingdom of Copper by Chakraborty, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but I loved her first book, City of Brass. I read through that so quickly, and Kingdom of Copper was no different. I'm almost disappointed in myself for waiting so long to read it, because it's been on my shelf for a while. So I'm really happy I got to read it. And Empire Gold just came out, which is the final book in the trilogy, and I cannot wait to see how the main character grows in this one. She grew so much in the second one, and like the ending was, oh my god, the ending was so great. I cannot believe what happened. It was such a twist, and I don't want to go too much into it, but if you have not read it, I totally recommend it. And since the third one is out, I recommend like marathoning this series, because it was that amazing, and I cannot wait to finish it. I mean, who knows, maybe Empire Gold is like the best of 2020, but yeah, I totally love the sequel, and I'm so sad that I waited so long, because it was that great. Number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. I would say Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I only read one series by her, Throne of Glass series, and it was great. It took me a while just because there were so many books, but once I got into it, I really managed to get through the books quickly. Crescent City, I've heard great things. I heard it's like an urban fantasy, so I can't wait to see how that differs, because it's not a YA. I think it's actually an adult fantasy. So I'm really excited to see how that kind of style of writing is different. But I'm really excited to see what it's about. I don't know much about it, and I'm actually happy about that. I want to go in not knowing a lot. I just want to be surprised throughout the whole book. It is a really big book, so I hope I get to finish it this year, but if not, it'll definitely be on my list for 2021. And I do want to really read her A Court of Thorn and Roses series. I've heard great things about it, and the next one comes out in January of 2021, so I really have to get into those super quickly. Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Okay, do not judge me on this. I know it's just when I was in high school when the original books came out, so like I was excited for this one. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. It comes out on August 4th, I believe. I already pre-ordered it, and it's supposed to be on my doorstep August 4th, so I'm super excited. And I know it's like, what? But I was in high school when the original Twilight series came out, so And then when the story got leaked, I was like, oh my God, this is so great. And it ended right in a special part where it's like, I really wanted to see Edward pissed at Jasper that he let Bella like escape. And so I never got to see that. So I'm super excited for Midnight Sun. Who knows if she'll write a one for like New Moon. But I cannot wait to read it. It's almost like it's like that book that got away, It's like you never knew what was going to happen because it never got really finished. So now it's actually coming out, and I can't wait to see what was intended for this story. Number 5, biggest disappointment, is Blackwater by Joyce Carol Oates. It's a book I had to read for grad school, so I wasn't expecting to like it, but it sounded interesting, and I thought maybe it would be good, but it was kind of a disappointment for me, only because I think I didn't know the background story of it. It's based on a true event, and I think because I didn't know it, it wasn't as interesting. I tend to like knowing the background on, books that are based on a true story, or even movies based on a true story. Like I recently watched Zodiac, and like I did a bunch of research after that on the Zodiac killer because I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Let me see what they have to say more about this person. And so because of that, I didn't really like it. So it was definitely a big disappointment, but I'm not like disappointed that it was a big disappointment because I wouldn't have read it if it wasn't for school. Most of the books I read for pleasure and because I wanted to were actually really great this year. So I'm definitely happy that in terms of how my reading is going this year. Number 6, biggest surprise. I would say The Institute by Stephen King. I've only read like 2 or 3 books by Stephen King. I've always wanted to read it, but every time I look at it, I'm just like, I can't do it. This book seems so daunting and it's enormous and it will take me forever. So I wasn't really going to the Institute, like when I started reading The Institute, I wasn't really going into it thinking, oh, this is going to be great. Actually, I was going, I'll probably DNF it, but I'll give it a shot. And it ended up being amazing. And I got through it so quickly, like in 24 hours. It was amazing. And I actually think it's one of his better books. I mean, I can't really be the expert because I haven't read that many books by him, but I really did enjoy it. And it makes me want to read more by him. So yeah, that was definitely a big surprise. Number 7, favorite new author, debut or new to you. Sadly, I don't really have an answer for that because I didn't read any new debut authors during the first half of the year. I concentrated on books I had for a long time by authors I've already read. So maybe in the second half I'll have some new ones. Like I'll have actually I have one. I'll have Carrie Maniscalco. I haven't read her yet. I'm reading her for the reading rush. I have Marie Lu. Haven't read her yet. I'll have Neil Patrick Harris. Haven't read him yet. So I'll definitely have a bunch of debut authors, or not debut, but new to me authors, for the second half of the year. But for the first half, not much. Not really, no. Number 8, newest fictional crush. I would say Cal from Darker Shade of Magic. I just loved his fire, and I loved how much he cared for Delilah. I thought that was just so sweet, and it definitely made me like him as a character. He was just so great, and yeah, he would definitely be my favorite new crush. Number 9, newest favorite character. I don't know if I have a new favorite character. Actually, no, I do. Actually, I wouldn't say it's new for this half of the year because I did read A Darker Shade of Magic before this year, but I really do like Delilah as my new favorite character because she's so strong and she's so independent and she always wants to do things on her own, and I really admire that as a person, and I think it's great that B. Schwab put that in a character. A strong female character is always something I look for in the books I read. Number 10, book that made you cry. I really don't have an answer for this. No books have made me cry as of yet. maybe in the second half of the year, but for now, not really. I mean, movies have made me cry, TV shows have made me cry, even songs have made me cry. But books don't usually make me cry, possibly because I'm more of a visual person. So if I can't really see it happening, like in front of me, then it's like, I don't feel the need to cry. But sadly, no books have made me cry this time. Number 11, book that made you happy. Kingdom of Ash made me happy. It was the last book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and the way it ended made me happy. It was just so full circle, and it ended perfectly, and I think that she did a great job in finishing out the story and making everyone happy, and I definitely recommend that you read the series if you have not. It's long, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. I actually thought there was a point where I'm like, oh, there's just too many books. What's the point of finishing this? But then I kept going, and I decided I'm gonna finish it. And when I got to Kingdom of Ash, I was so happy I did. It was great way to end the series. So that book definitely made me happy. Number 12, most beautiful book you bought so far this year. I would say Kingdom of Back. Look at this cover. Not just because it's blue, which I like the color, but like, it sparkles like when you turn it in the light. I did this in another video, but it's just like there's a tree in the roots, and I think it's just so beautiful, and it makes me want to read this book, and I'm so happy I did buy it. And like, it ends with, to be remembered in this world, she created another. Oh my god, is that a clue? I cannot wait to read this. I'll probably reading this next Monday, to finish the first challenge. Read a book in the color with the color of your birthstone. So definitely very beautiful, and yeah, I saw this cover and I just had to buy it, so this is the one. Number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I actually have a list. Like, it's not just one or two, it's a list. So I have Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I definitely want to read that. Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. I have Hunting Prince Dracula, Escaping from Houdini, Capturing the Devil, and of course, Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I want to read that entire series. I want to read Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I want to read Court of Thorn and Roses, Court of Mist and Fury, Court of Wings and Ruin, and Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. That's a very long list. I'll also be reading a Laini Taylor book. I think it's Muse of Nightmares, and the first one, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I'll be reading that possibly in August. My friend wants to do a buddy read. I actually was going to unhaul those, and she convinced me to give it another shot. I read one of her earlier books, Daughter Smoke and Bone, and I really didn't like it. I actually didn't finish the series because I disliked the book so much. But been told that the series is better, so I will give it a shot. We shall see. But those are the books I really want to finish. So hopefully I will get through them and maybe even read other books, on my TBR shelf. I really, really hope so. My TBR shelf is over there. That's where I'm pointing to. And last question, favorite book community member. I like Peruse Project. The booktubers, actually, her name is Reagan. She's so great. I love watching all her videos. I like her readathons. I like that she adds Matilda to all her videos. I like her opinions. I like most of the books she suggests. I really want to read Brandon Sanderson because of her once I'm more finished with my TBR shelf, for sure. She's just an amazing person, and I think that her bookshelves are beautiful, and I think as a booktuber, she's just so charismatic, and I can't help but listen to her because she's so charismatic. And every time one of her videos appears, I'm like, yay! So yeah, definitely check her out if you have not. She is amazing. So yep, that is the 2020 mid-year book freakout tag. It was great talking to you guys. If you like my video, please comment down below, subscribe. all that wonderful stuff. I do always appreciate it when you guys subscribe and comment and view my videos. See you next week, probably with another video. Bye.